Over 6 billion people in the world, and we were fortunate enough to know Joe Gilliam. A truly excellent and exceptional man with boundless enthusiasm for his family, his faith, and his work. Joe's career as a public speaker and trainer began 30 years ago in 1980 when he decided to strike out on his own. In 1987, Joe's first contact with national seminars was by chance at an industry event. No one knew it was the beginning of a wonderful long-term relationship between Joe and Rockhurst.
So in 1987, I went to ASTD conference in Dallas, and I was walking through the vendor hall, and I ran into Susan Brown, and Susan said, "Well, you've got to meet my brother Mark." So I came back, and you were back, Mark was back, and he said, "Do you have a cassette tape or something?" Back then it was cassettes, you know, so I had one and I gave it to Mark, and I remember Mark Truitt asking me, he said, "What do you love to do?" And I said, "I love to speak." And he said, "Well, what if we could provide a vehicle where we did the workbooks, we did the travel, we did the marketing, and all you had to do was show up and speak?" And I said, "I would think I died and gone to heaven." And so 2 years later, on Monday, March the 13th, 1989, I flew to Kansas City and did some just letting me know who national seminars were, met all the people there. And Thursday and Friday, they sent me out on 2 on-sites to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and that year they booked me 144 days. And I just have never seen a need to have a relationship with anybody else but national seminars.
Joe's contribution during his 21-year career with Rockhurst was tremendous. Joe collaborated on several products, including How to Handle Difficult People, How to Coach an Effective Team, and The Winner in You. His programs were huge successes, selling over 100,000 copies and $5.5 million in revenue. He delivered 1,852 public events and over 1,100 on-site programs. Joe was totally energized by helping others to succeed and reach their goals. He loved to educate, train, and inspire people to improve themselves, to expand their horizons and reach their fullest potential. He expected your best and wouldn't settle for anything less.
Good fortune now really is coming my way because, you see, I've found a better way to live my life. I've actually found life's magic key. As a person thinketh in their mind, so shall they be. I want everybody to say out loud with me, I am an excellent and exceptional person. Let's go. I am an excellent and exceptional person. I want you to say, I am an excellent, exceptional leader. I am an excellent and exceptional leader. Say, I am a winner. I am a winner. Those are the kind of things that most people never say to themselves.
Joe played many roles in his life. He could be a down-home, good old boy one day and switch effortlessly to a Fortune 500 consultant the next. But there's no doubt that dedication to his family and his faith were most important. Joe was a loyal son and brother, a devoted husband, father, and doting grandfather. Joe's family meant the world to him, and he to them. Joe lived his faith with the same great passion he had for his family. He always had Bible verses with him and loved to spread the gospel. He knew in his heart that living a righteous life and sharing his faith with others would change them for the better. And beyond his family and his faith, Joe was a valued friend to so many. He was a respected colleague, educator, and trainer, and especially our coach. Here's a sample of what some of Joe's friends and colleagues had to say about his amazing impact on their lives. How do you begin to describe Joe? I can't without smiling. He was more than a colleague. He was an amazing man and dear friend to me. He loved talking with new speakers. I would watch their eyes glass over when he described his work routine. They would turn to me or privately ask, "Is he for real?" My answer was always yes and then some. He has left a hole in our lives but a permanent spot in our hearts. Words cannot express the positive impact he made on my life. He always offered such positive words of encouragement and sound advice to sustain me. He was indeed my mentor. God bless Coach Joe. I count Joe among the most powerful, subtle influences on my life. 18 years ago, he connected me to NSG. I drove him through the Chicago snow. We argued about almost everything, enjoyed every minute of it, and respected each other deeply. His character will not be forgotten. Joe was a real inspiration to me with his daily voicemail message of encouragement and wisdom to help me become the best version of myself. I loved how he lived his message with his family and seminar participants. I really miss him. Joe made a difference in my life because of his passion, teachings, and Joeisms. Joe impacted many, many people, and his influence and coaching will continue to shape lives for generations to come. Your messages, your passion, and your caring will be missed by all. Your memory will continue to be a blessing. Joe was a great observer of people. He learned by watching others, not only to help make them better, but to make himself better too. And with all this hard work and dedication, Joe still found plenty of time to have fun. He loved the family reunions at the beach, sometimes cutting loose with a little karaoke there too. Fishing, reading, the theater, NASCAR, thanks to Sean, fine wine, cruises. He loved his gators, and spending time doing anything with his children and grandchildren. We heard all about the Christmas sleepover for the grandkids, mailed invitations and all. And in case you didn't know, Joe loved to party. He was generally an early-to-bed guy and always up early to read and pray before the day started. However, on a few occasions, he was known to deliver training all day, go out to the wee hours to celebrate with friends and colleagues, and still be the first one up and ready for the next day, alert, alive, and feeling great. Joe's dedication, energy, enthusiasm, and zest for life set a worthy example for all of us to follow. There's no doubt Joe made a big impact on everyone he met, and even some he didn't meet.
I recently got an email from a lady who had to make some different choices. Her name is Misha Thomas. Misha Thomas says in here that 6 years ago she was homeless, living in a homeless shelter. She had been living with her grandmother. Her grandmother died and they lost everything they had and she went homeless. She was at a homeless shelter going through a box of donated items and found there a set of my Winner in You recordings on self-esteem. She said, I have now listened to those numerous times. I went from being unemployed and looking to where I am today. I began work as a dispatcher making $8 an hour to graduating from a police academy. She was given in May of 2007 the Chancellor's Award for Outstanding Community Service, and she signs, thanks again, Sergeant Misha Thomas, University of Tennessee Police Department, Knoxville, Tennessee, message sent from a wireless BlackBerry handheld. Misha Thomas made some different choices, didn't she? That's the only reason she's where she's at today. And you are where you are, doing what you're doing because that's where you want to be. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king or queen for just one day, go to a mirror and look at yourself and see what that person has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or husband or wife or boss whose judgment upon you must pass. The person whose verdict counts the most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. Some people may think you're a wonderful person, even call you a wonderful person. But the person in the glass says you ain't if you can't look that person straight in the eye. You see, that's the person you got to please. Never mind all the rest, for that person will be with you clear up to the end. And you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test. The person in the glass is your friend. Oh, you can fool the whole world down the pathway of life and get pats on your back as you pass. But your final reward will be heartaches and tears if you've cheated the person in the glass. God bless you.
We are all blessed to have known Joe. Joe lived his message with fire and passion every day of his life. His star burned brightly, illuminating our path, showing us the way to a successful, more fulfilling life. And that light will be with us, always. For everyone who knew him, for all the lives he touched, for all the positive, inspiring messages he gave us, and the shining example he set, we say, thanks, Joe, and Godspeed.